Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the tier 10 Japanese destroyer, the Shimakaze, and I'm using these modules and commander skills. It's a match on the map Mountain Range, and I spawned near the A side, and I expect my team to also come to the A side because we had quite a few allies here. Now, an enemy Khabarovsk also went into the A cap, just as I did. But because she is a Khabarovsk, I don't really want to engage her with guns, especially now since there is a gearing that appeared as well. So what I'm just gonna do is, I am going to just sail around a little bit and try to keep them spotted, because I don't want them to return fire on me, not to mention there is a Baltimore close by that could almost radar me. So I'm just gonna leave the cap zone at this moment, because I'm afraid that they might have torpedoed my, location more or less, and in that case it would have been a problem. Unfortunately, I was the one spotting them, so I can't do much about it, but it seems the gearing has slowed down inside the cap zone and is actually trying to cap it now inside the smoke screen. So I'm going to launch all 15 of my torpedoes into the smoke screen, and I hope that one of them catches the gearing off guard and ends her game. So the Khabarovsk seems to have actually left the A cap, which means that, oh, never mind, she is back again. I wanted to say that if she left, then maybe it would have been alright to try to push the gearing, but never mind. With this, it's alright. Now, the question is, where should I go? Oh, and goodbye, gearing. You did take one of the torpedoes. And here are the torpedoes in return. Hopefully I'll be able to dodge. Yep, easy dodge. And now it seems that we might actually be able to take the A cap, because we have 3 destroyers here, they have only 1. And, there are battleships and the Baltimore behind her. However, the Baltimore is outside of radar range, which means that she is not really going to do much about us. So right now, the next question for me is, I need to find a new target. First of all, obviously we take the cap zone, but then after that we still need a target. Alright, so we got the cap zone. And now I'm doing a pass on the Izumo Yamato. I don't think I'm gonna open fire on the Khabarovsk. You see, I have 9.6 kilometer torpedoes, because I think the 12 kilometer torpedoes on the Shimakaze are actually the better ones. You see, 8 kilometers is just a little bit too little when you have 6 kilometer spotting range. Maybe if you had 5.5 it would be alright. However, if you have 6 kilometer spotting range, or concealment range, and 8 kilometer torpedoes, that means if a ship is sailing away from you, you need to be closer than where you are spotted. Which means you probably can't get to torpedo anything. Like right now, that Izumo is running away, right? If I get somewhere within, like, let's say 6.5 kilometers, I will be able to torpedo her, and those torpedoes will reach her before the torpedoes disappear. But if I had F3s with 8 kilometer ones, then that probably would not be the case. I launched the torpedoes, and unfortunately this does mean I get into the range of the Khabarovsk, well, spotted by the Khabarovsk. So I'm gonna just exchange shellfire with her and smoke and try to disappear. You see, actually shooting a Khabarovsk is slightly annoying, because they have these annoying 50mm plates. And even their deck armor is like 25mm in many spots. Or was it higher than that? I'm not certain. Anyways, now I just go backwards and try to angle towards where the Khabarovsk was, in case that she torpedoes, so that I'll be able to dodge them. And I'll mention, the commander skills. Oh, look, I hit 2 of the torpedoes on the... Oh my god, this is gonna be problematic. Come on, dodge, easy game. Just such an easy dodge. I never even questioned it for a moment that I would be able to dodge it, right? Okay, so I did hit 2 of the torpedoes, and this is essentially why I like the 12 kilometer torpedoes with Torpedo Acceleration. That puts them at 9.6 kilometers. You see, with F3s, what you get is you get 8 kilometer torpedoes with that are 76 knots. And they deal something like 21,000 damage with a 107 second reload. With the 12 kilometer torpedoes with Torpedo Acceleration, you get 9.6 kilometer torpedoes, so 20% longer, with 72 knots. So you are only 5 like 5-6% slower, but you have 20% more range. And you deal 23,000 damage with a slightly longer reload at 117 seconds, I think. So I feel that the the 12-kilometer torpedoes with torpedo acceleration are actually a better decision. However, this is only the case if you actually have, points for torpedo acceleration. If you don't have them, then obviously that I don't think is the case anymore. Because I don't think you really need more than 10-kilometer torpedo range, at least not on a ship with 6-kilometer concealment. So I try dropping some torpedoes into that smokescreen and hoping that it might be able to hit the battleship, but I'm not quite certain of that. Now, I want to keep one launcher full of torpedoes. You see, I think on the Shimakaze it's actually really useful to not fire the third launcher full of torpedoes and instead try to keep one of them. In case people like this Mogami come around, that you might easily be able to torpedo. So, I have this smokescreen up by somebody else here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a launcher full of torpedoes and then sail away. Because I don't want to be caught off guard by this Khabarovsk and Mogami and the other ships behind her suddenly and then just take way too much damage that I shouldn't, like the Fletcher next to me. He should not be firing his guns, because he's going to lose this fight 10 times out of 10. Now, the torpedoes might have, stopped the Fletcher from dodging properly, but honestly they would have been no problem if the Fletcher had not fired her guns. So I do think that the problem there was with, the Fletcher just firing her guns. Even though, the blame seems to go elsewhere. Okay, so the Bismarck did actually come around the corner, and unfortunately my torpedoes missed. However, I have the two other launchers that have already reloaded, so I might actually try to torpedo the Bismarck here. Although I might just sit here for a while and see what happens. Okay, never mind. Apparently I am not going to do that. The Atta got torpedoed. I hope I don't run into them. That would be a bit unfortunate. Yep, doesn't seem like it happened, so that's good. No, I'm gonna turn around, and I think I might give the Yamato a smokescreen. But the way the Bismarck seems to be moving, these torpedoes are actually pretty good. It depends on what she does. I think I'll hit at least one. I don't know about two. Okay, come on. I mean, two will actually kill her, though. Okay, two will hit. Goodbye. And now the Khabarovsk is raining fire on our Yamato, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna tell my Yamato that I will give him a smokescreen, although while typing so, I forgot to actually turn my ship enough, so this smokescreen is a bit awkwardly positioned in a moment. But if the Yamato starts going slightly forward, she should get into the smokescreen pretty easily, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now the problem with our match so far is that we have lost more ships than they have, I think. Wait, no, never mind, both are 6. Well, these torpedoes are unfortunate. I just hope the Yamato survives them, which she probably will. So we've both lost the same amount of ships, but well, they have 2 capstones, we have 1, and we need to push the second one. And we don't really have anything that can take care of a Khabarovsk easily, so the Khabarovsk on the enemy team is probably going to just rain fire. Now, I launched torpedoes pretty randomly there. I hope that something might run into them like the Mogami or maybe the Benson, but I think it's unlikely. What I'm gonna do with the other 2 launchers of torpedoes is take them to the enemy Yamato and try to torpedo her, because she seems to want to actually come closer and fight us. Which in my opinion is a mistake, since they have 2 capstones. What they need to do is just sit on them and try to win by points. Okay, so by the way, one of the reasons why I think people have a lot of success with the F3 torpedoes is that the torpedoes force them to go closer. You cannot stay far away and torpedo with them. But with longer range torpedoes you can, even though in many cases that is the mistake. You should still go closer so your torpedoes don't diverge so much. The closer you are, The less time the torpedoes spend in the water, the less time they can go apart. So the gaps can grow really, really big at times if the torpedoes have to go really long range. But these torpedoes actually look pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna kill her though, because it's still a Yamato and I'm gonna hit only like 2. But you know, a flooding is a flooding. And my third launcher is actually coming off cooldown in 15 seconds. I tell my team that she is flooding, that maybe, you know, the... Oh, actually she has not repaired the flooding yet. Like, she might be expecting the other launcher one, or maybe she expected a third launcher of torpedoes. But she probably, yeah, she definitely damage control party now, so I'm gonna do a second pass, and I will try to... Wait, no, she's turning towards the B cap. Okay, maybe not. I wanted to do another pass on the Yamato and drop the last launcher of torpedoes, but if she is not actually going to come around here, that's obviously not what I want to do. Instead, I'm gonna use torpedoes from this side, and the Shimakaze next to me is probably going to do the same. Although, I think he probably still has reload. You know, I have an extra launcher of torpedoes. Now, I think the Yamato is actually going to run away, so I don't expect her to speed up. I expect her to turn away, and that means the Yamato is likely not going to go as far. I used the third launcher of torpedoes here because I want to increase the chance of my torpedoes, well, some of them actually hitting the Yamato. Because if we can get the flooding right now, I think that flooding would stick for a bit, and that would help us, you know, win the game. Because again, we kind of need the points, and we don't have much leeway to, you know, play it safe. Because they are at 905 points, 908 already. Excellent, Yamato down. And I also tell my team that I hope they kill the Baltimore. She has radar, and I would like to at least contest the B cap. But if the Baltimore stays around, that's going to be very, very difficult, since she will be able to radar me. But our Iowa obliges and takes her out, which is excellent. Thank you very much. And now I will be able to enter the B cap, and I think I should be quite alright. Although the only variable here is pretty much the Benson. The Benson might be in a position to try to stop us. Now, I tell the Yamato again that I'm gonna smoke her, so I make a line in front of her to give her a smoke screen. Now, I don't think the Yamato should, like, just sit in it, because they obviously have a Khabarovsk and a Mogami that both can torpedo. However, if possible, she could just sail through it, and for the duration that she sails through it, she should not be, you know, shot at with her guns. And oh my god, that's a lot of damage on the Mogami. So I open up my guns myself, because we're gonna take the cap in a moment. Yep, there it is. And I want to just make sure that this Mogami goes away. Cruisers are an issue for DDs, so... Excellent. She is gone. And now I need to turn tail and start running. Obviously I still try to dodge as much as I can, because of the Khabarovsk, and unfortunately I don't think I can get out of my spotting range because of the Benson. I dropped some torpedoes in the perhaps potential future path of the Benson, maybe she'll run into them, but until then I will open fire, and I will try to put distance between me and the Khabarovsk and even the Benson, because at this current stage losing a ship would be pretty catastrophic. And we just lost the ship to the enemy Bismarck, which means they are almost at 900 points. Fortunately though, they only have one capstone, and I got to fix my fire. And I'll start... I won't fire. I'll wait until my ship should disappear. And then the question is, what do we do now? Because we kinda need to take out the enemy Bismarck or Benson or, you know, other ships to win the game, because I don't think we can make up 130 points in 4 minutes, at least with 2 to 1 capstones. And, you know, we have 2 Shimakazes, and neither of them are able to fight a Khabarovsk, because for some reason Wargaming thinks a Khabarovsk is really balanced. With her armor scheme, speed, damage output and all that. Oh well. I'll just try dropping torpedoes in the general direction of the Khabarovsk in the future, once they are reloaded. But I don't really expect much from them. Now, the risky thing with doing this is that once I go closer, I don't know where the Benson is, and if the Benson spots me, I only have 5000 HP. So the Benson and Khabarovsk together might be able to take me out. Now the smokescreen of the Khabarovsk should be on the edge of the range of the torpedoes, so those torpedoes should be able to reach the Khabarovsk as long as she stays actually inside the smokescreen. Okay, we see the Benson. Now I wonder, should I open fire? I start turning away and won't fire before I actually get spotted. Because obviously the Benson is coming closer, so she will be spotting me the entire time, so the faster we can take her out, the faster I disappear, and well, there it is. And I still have my 4300 HP left. Wait, what's spotting me? Oh, it's the Khabarovsk. Oh, and she left the smoke and got hit by a torpedo. So in this game, I torpedoed the gearing successfully, I torpedoed the Khabarovsk successfully. Come on, let's finish her off already. Please, just take her out. Oh my god. Did you just see that? The 2 shells hit, but neither did damage, because for some reason Khabarovsk deck armor is thick enough to not allow DD shell fire to go through. It's insane, but you know, it is what it is. And there goes the last enemy ship. You know, at one point this game looked actually like we had lost it. But we managed to pull it back with a bit of luck, actually a lot of luck in my opinion, with the torpedoes. And by luck I don't mean RNG, I mean luck in that, you know, the torpedoes hit. So, 606,000 credits, a Confederate, devastating strike, 156,000 damage, 11 torpedo hits, even 4 ships destroyed, and 2,424 base experience. And our Yamato that we supported a lot also did rather well. So, in the detailed report, well, 133,000 damage were from direct torpedo hits. I guess it's as expected for a Shimakaze. My guns only did 7,000 damage and floodings only did 15,000 damage, although, you know, those floodings were they did something. So again, I successfully torpedoed the gearing and the Khabarovsk in this game. And I managed to kill secure a Mogami. I mean, I did 17,700 damage to the Khabarovsk. I suppose my shellfire at the start also did something. And 358,000 credits profit, but let's be honest, I am using the premium camo and... Wait, no, actually I'm not using the premium camo. Oh well, it is what it is. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then like it. If not, dislike it. And I would like to thank the Patreons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support. Active 02, and I hope I see you guys next time.